Good day! I will be presenting quiz number 1, version 3. It is version 3 because it is an improved version of number 1, from version 1 to version 2 and now version 3. The content of this PowerPoint was made through the help of our professor, Dr. Edwin R. Arboleda, Doctor of Engineering. I am Mark Ryan B. Hermogino from BSECE 3-1 with student number of 2019-11100, and I will be reporting quiz number 1, version 3. First, let us recall what is Wika. Wika is a collection of machine learning algorithms for data mining tasks. It contains tools for data preparation, classification, regression, clustering, association rules mining, and visualization. Found only in the islands of New Zealand, the wika is a flightless bird with an inquisitive nature. The name is pronounced like this and the bird sounds like this. Wika is an open source software issued under the GNU General Public License. Let us remember what we have done from the quiz number 1. So this is the original Excel file sent by our professor. This is what it looks like for the Trinitario cacao and Forastero cacao. So we have encountered some errors in the original file. Here are the errors. The first error is error loading file. A pop-up window appeared saying that index 24 out of bounds for length 24 problem encountered on line 2. That is the first error. Upon opening the CSV file into ARFF file, the file could not be opened because a pop-up will say that it has an error. The next error from the original file is the missing 5 samples. We can see here from the sample 154, it skipped into sample 160. There are missing 155, 156, 157, 158, and 159. And it's a total of missing 5 samples. Now, what we have done in the quiz number 1 is that we fixed the file for the version 1 and we have submitted it already. Now, there are still room for improvements. We have submitted a version 2 of that file, fixing and improving the file and making it more accurate. So that is what we have submitted before, the improved file in quiz number 1, version 2. So we already have submitted 2 versions of the quiz number 1, version 1 and version 2. And now, finally, version 3, the new improved file. Version 3, new improved file. So, how to do the new improved file? So here are the steps. It only takes 8 steps to accomplish the new improved file version 3 of quiz number 1. Steps in the new improved version 3. First is using the cacao species dataset, 245 Trinitario cacao and 250 Forastero cacao, add 5 samples to Trinitario cacao to make it balanced. Make the last column as Trinitario cacao and Forastero cacao. Out of the 250 Trinitario cacao and 250 Forastero cacao, cut and paste 200 Trinitario cacao and 200 Forastero cacao in another Excel file, save it as training set. The remaining 50 Trinitario cacao and 50 Forastero cacao will then be saved as testing set. Save training set and testing set as CSV file. Go to Wika and save both files in ARFF format. In Wika, open training set of ARFF file. Under the Classified tab, in the Test option, click Training Set, Set Training Set, then start. And finally, use that supplied test set and open with the testing set in ARFF file. So let's go with the steps one by one. The first step, or step 1, using the cacao species dataset, 245 Trinitario because there are missing 5 samples, and 250 for Estero cacao. Add 5 samples to Trinitario cacao to make it balanced. So, we will add 5 samples to this missing 155 to 159. So, we have already done that, and now let's proceed. Step 2. Make the last column as Trinitario cacao and Forastero cacao. So, in the original file, it is marked as numbers. One symbolizes for Trinitario cacao and 2 for Forastero cacao. But Wika could not read it because it is numeric. It can only classify data if the file is not in numbers. So, it must be in words. So, we must put the samples, each name of what they are, what class they belong to. So let's go to the dataset and put class in the rightmost column, and then put the name of Trinitario cacao for the 200 samples and 50 samples. So here we have done the process. Trinitario and Forastero cacao complete. Now, step 3. Out of the 250 Trinitario cacao and 250 Forastero cacao, cut and paste 200 Trinitario cacao and 200 Forastero cacao in another Excel file. Save it as training set. So we will separate 250 because 50 is the 20% that will be used for the testing set. And 200 is the 80% that will be used for the training set. So here, we have placed the 200 Trinitario cacao and 200 Forastero cacao in another Excel file and saved it as training set. Yes, it has been completed. Now, let's go to step 4. The remaining 50 Trinitario cacao and 50 Forastero cacao will then be saved as testing set. So we will save the remaining 50. Also Trinitario and Forastero cacao named as testing set. Step 5. Save the training set and testing set as CSV file. Now, after saving from Excel file, we will now convert it to CSV file. So here we have converted the CSV file in the training set into a CSV file. We can see that it made changes. And also for the testing set, we have already saved it into a CSV file. Next is step 6. Go to Wika and save both files in ARFF format. Now we will now go to the Wika application, hoping that there will be no more errors. Okay, I'm already in Wika application, and I go to Tools and ARFF Viewer, then I click the CSV file and opened it in this Wika Viewer. We can see that there are already no errors because we can view the file. So we will be saving this training set as an ARFF file. Let's click Save. Next, we will open the testing set in the ARFF viewer, and also we will save it as a ARFF file. Now, let's go to step 7. Last 2 steps, and we will now complete the new improved version of the quiz number 1. Step 7. In Wika, open training set, of ARFF file. Under Classify tab, in Test option, click on Use Training Set, then Start. We will now be proceeding to classifying of dataset. So first, we will go in the pre-process because we will still open the training set. The training set in ARFF format. So we will now open the file. We can see here the results of the training set. Let's try to click on Visualize All. Here are the diagrams. We can see it is colored with blue and red. Here are the set of attributes under this dataset. Next, let's now proceed in classifying. Let's go to the Classify tab and choose a good classifier. For me, multi-layer perception is a good classifier. Let's try to start with that. In the test options, let's choose Use Training Set. And then click Start. We have gotten a correctly classified instances of 390 at 97.5%. That's pretty high. And incorrectly classified instances of only 10 at 2.5%. So this classifier produces a good results in classifying the data because its percentage is very high. It means it has high accuracy in analyzing the data. So let's try more classifiers, but let us remember this multi-layer perception. Step 8. Use the supplied set. Open with the testing set in ARFF file. So we are now in the final step for the quiz number 1 version 3 new improved version. Now, let's go under the training set. You click on supplied test set. Then click on the set button. Click on the open file. Open a set of instances from a file. We will open the saved testing set in ARFF version earlier. Let's click on the testing set and now we will open it. And we will click Start for the classifier to run the program. Let's click Start and we have gotten a 98%. It is very high percent. It means it has high accuracy. This is a very good classifier. Correctly classified instances of 98 at 98% and incorrectly classified instances of 2 at only 2%. So after using the training set, we got 97 and we even got higher at 98 in using the testing set. So the classifier with the highest accuracy, with the fastest time taken to test the model, and the most efficient is the multi-layer perception. We can also go to the Select Attributes tab. Let's try to select or remove attributes. We can see here in running the attributes, we can see that there are 7 main attributes of this dataset. These are W, var, max, D, H, sdev, and ent. So we can also rank these attributes based on how much they put value in the file, in the dataset. So in order to rank this dataset, let's go to the attribute evaluator and choose InfoGain Evaluator. Then the search method will be ranker. Now, we have successfully ranked the attributes. Here is the evaluation of the attribute. The highest attribute is ranked at 0.1985, which is the m-axis. Next is W at also 0.1905. Next is ENT, which is at 0.181, followed by D, which is at 1548, then H at 0.1487, and then area at 0.0885, and so on and so forth. At the very bottom, we can see that there are attributes rank 0. These are Perry, Homo, K, B, and ENR, SR, and samples. There are a total of 23 samples, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attributes that are rank 0. This means that these attributes that rank 0 might not put a big help, or maybe put some errors, or put some low accuracy on the data, because it does not even have a rank. So we can remove this in the features of the Wika. We can remove these attributes in order to have a higher accuracy, get a better accuracy or results. Next, let's try more on the classifiers. Here are the list of other classifiers that reach 90% and above accuracy. From functions logic, the correctly classified instances is 90 at 90%, and incorrectly classified instances is at 10 at 10%. Next is functions at SGD. Correctly classified instances is 90 at 90%, and incorrectly classified instances is 10 at 10%. Next is meta multiclass classifier. The correctly classified instances is 90 at 90%. The incorrectly classified instances is at 10 at 10%. Next is multiclass classifier updatable. Correctly classified instances at 90 at 90%, and incorrectly classified instances of 10 at 10%. Next, meta-random subspace. Correctly classified instances is 91 at 91%. Correctly classified instances of 9 at 9%. Next is rule part. Correctly classified instances of 91 at 91%. Incorrectly classified instances at 9 of 9%. Next is case of J48. The correctly classified instances is 96 at 96%, and incorrectly classified instances is 4 at 4%. So this is the second classifier that goes second from the multi-layer perception. Because the multi-layer perception has 98%, this J48 has 96%. It is also a good classifier next to the multi-layer perception, because it is the best so far that we have at 98% accuracy. Next is the TWIS LMT. Correctly classified instances at 93 at 93%, incorrectly classified instances of 7 at 7%. So that's all. That's all the results. We can now close the window. We can also view more on the Visualize tab for more data representation. Now let's close Wika, and we are proudly to say that we have finished the version 3 of quiz number 1, new improved version. Here are my references. The YouTube channel of Edwinus Prime. Here is the link. And here are other references. Thank you for watching, and God bless. We are successful in presenting and, and performing the quiz number 1, version 3, new improved version. I am Mark Ryan B. Hermogino from BSECE 3-1 with student number of 2019111100. Again, thank you and God bless. Have a nice day.